Hi guys, good evening and welcome back. So today, I'll try to go through one of my interview experience with Capgemini. So basically, one day I got a call from Naukri saying that there is a opening for the QA position of the experience is from the range is from 4 to 6 years. So I was eligible, and also the requirement was for manual plus automation both plus API as well. So these three are the requirements. So my skill set were matching, and for automation also Java, Selenium. So and API testing it was for Postman, and for manual testing it's nothing. So it's as usual, right? So that was the requirement. So I was called for the interview, and interview was scheduled through it was virtual. So the first round I'll try to go through the first round. So there were some 8 to 10 questions were asked for me. So from my side I was able to answer for most of the questions. So but I'm not sure for what reasons. So it was not pushed for the second round. So the first round questions were like this. So the very first question will be always introducing yourself, and explain your roles and responsibilities about that. So we can explain about quick with our name, and what are the organization that we worked on, and what are the current project we are working on, and what are the technologies, and what are the especially what are the tech stack we are working on. So that is very very important, guys. So tech stacks are the main important thing. So when it comes to an automation profile or an estate profile and all. So then comes your day-to-day activities and roles and responsibilities. What are the things that you are currently taken care of as a senior engineer, as 4 to 6 years of experience candidate, what are the responsibilities that currently you are taking up. So you can take some 2 to 3 minutes and you can explain it. So and after that he asked me one coding question. Directly he got into the coding question. So write a Java code to count the number of occurrence of an character in the string. Say for example there will be a string. So we have to count the occurrence of a character in that particular string. So it is it is simple. So by making use of an hash map, first we have to convert that string into the character array, and then declare one hash map. So and then iterate that character array, and while inserting the value into the hash map, we have to check if this character is already available. So then we have to increment the value by 1. So because the hash map will be key value pair, right? So if we increment the value by 1, if it is already exist, if it is keep on coming that character, so we can keep on increasing that value by 1 So like that, in that way we can find out the occurrence of the character in that particular string. So I wrote that one. So that was okay. So then the next question was explain the concept of joins and list the different types of joins. So it is basically an SQL related question. So there are multiple types of joins. Say for example, there is a self join, and there is an inner join, and left outer join, and right outer join. So inner join is basically what it does is, say for example, there is a right table and there is a left table. Based on the common criteria, it matches the records from both the tables, and it will list the records. So that is what about the inner join. So when it comes to the left outer join, say for example, so this is the left table, okay. So it will find the records from all the records from the left table, and say for example it will find the records matching records from the right table, and it will match. Say for example, if it is matching only 3 records, it will match the 3 records. The last fourth record will not be having any matching record in the right table, so it will be null values. So it will be connecting like this both the tables, and whichever the records which will be will not be having the matching records in the right table, will be having the null values. So the right outer join is similarly it's vice versa. So it will be like this. So the fourth record from the right table will not be having any records. So that is what it is. And self join is joining with the same table, again the same condition. So obviously whenever we want to compare the records of the same table based on some conditions, we can go for the self join. So then the next question was what is LinkedHashMap and explain its uses. So linked HashMap and HashMap both are same. Only only one difference, only one key difference is that in the HashMap it will not preserve the insertion order. Say for example, you have inserted a record map that put of say for example key is 1 and the value is Baparaya, and the key is 2 and value is something XYZ. Okay, so whenever you want to retrieve the values, so there is no guarantee that the first inserted value it will come in the first place. So it can come any place, it can come at any point of view. Okay, at any point of time whichever the value can come. But when it comes to the linked hash map, so the way you are inserting, say for example if you insert the first record, while retrieving also first record will come, whatever the record you inserted at the first. So to preserve the insertion order, we'll be going with the linked hash map. So that is the only difference. So when it comes to the thread safety also, both are not thread safe. And when it comes to the key, it will allow unique keys, it will not allow duplicate keys, and it will allow only one null keys and multiple null values. And the values, when it comes to values, duplicate values are possible from both the sides. Okay, so that is the only one thing which is there in the linked hash map. So then comes what is the difference between the implicit weight and the explicit weight. So then we move to the Selenium part. So implicit weight and explicit weight. So the implicit weight is it's a static weight all across the system, all across the ecosystem. Say for example, if you write driver dot manage dot timeouts dot implicitly weight of some 10 second, 20 second, 30 seconds. So it is for all the elements, or all the elements it will be applicable all across the system. But explicitly weight is an element specific. Say for example if you want to weight a specific web element to be visible, or a specific web element to be clickable, or the specific web element is a kind of interactable something. So if we want to have a condition, if we want to put certain condition on particular web element, so we can go with the explicit weight. So that is the difference between the implicit weight and explicit weight. So both the uh, the high level overview, both are weights only, and both are having the same thing. Say for example 10 seconds means 10 seconds only it will wait. Within that 10 seconds if we find the element it will move on. If it does not find, so then it will throw the exception. So but the point is, so it is all across the system, but it is the element specific. So that is the core difference. So then comes write a code to automate the calendar web element. Okay, so this is where I was a little bit struggling. Maybe I'm not sure, maybe because of this they maybe rejected or what. So we have to depends on the calendar behavior, we have to, sorry guys. So depends on the calendar behavior, we have to write the logic. Depends on the logic. Say it depends actually. Say whatever the calendar, for me they gave the calendar element in the make my trip app. So there it will list the moment when we click on the dates, it will open the 2 months calendar, and we have to choose the calendar. First we have to get the element and we have to click. If we are not getting that particular date, so we have to click on the next button. So the moment when we find, so then we have to go through the dates and we have to click on the date. So that's it. So the logic is very simple. If you guys want to know about this logic, please do let me know in the comments down below guys. So okay, so then comes if an XPath selects two elements on a web page, does the find element throw an exception? So this is very a kind of a tricky question, and actually it will not throw. Why? Because I'll tell you. Say for example if it finds some 4-5 elements also, it doesn't matter. Whichever the first web element it finds, it will go and do the activity whatever you perform, whether it is send keys, whether it is click, whether it is whatever it is. So whichever the first element it is going to find, so for the first element only it is going to perform the operation, so it will not throw any exceptions. So explain the challenges that you have faced in your project. So it's a generic question. So with the data driven, maintaining the data for multiple environment is a big challenge. And when it comes to API testing is also another challenge, because in our organization, it was API testing was different, and the UI testing was different. So we were not integrating both UI and API testing, so that was one challenge. And if any UI changes, then the web element finding is one more challenge. So like that, multiple challenges we can list out. So what is the difference between checked exception and unchecked exception? So again, he came back to Java. So checked exceptions are the exceptions which are checked by the compiler. Say for example, file not found exception, URL malformed exceptions, so something like that. So which will be the moment when we write the query, the moment when we write the code, so the compiler will figure out, and it will throw us to, it will suggest us to handle through try catch black, or we have to add the throws keyword in the method declaration. So unchecked exceptions are the logical exceptions, so which will be happening during the execution of the program. So we have to handle them manually, so which will not be known by the compiler, which we have to guess and we have to do it. So that is what the unchecked exceptions are. So then comes how would you pick the test cases for the regression testing. So it's like uh, basically the fundamentally the regression testing itself is telling us is that to make sure the other functionalities are not affected because of the new feature, right? So whatever the functional test cases we have written for the other feature itself acts as a regression testing. But so all functional test cases of the other features are not part in part of the regression testing, but whichever the critical functionality of the other features will be considered or will be tagged as the regression testing test cases. So those can be tagged. And also most used business cases. So some of the applications will be having majorly used business cases. Say for example, when it comes to the financial, say for example, if I want to talk about in general terms, say for example investment app like Grow. So the investors will be retail investors or any other investors will be always be looking into the P&L reports, right? So those are all critical reports, and also they will be looking into their dashboards, right? So those are all critical functionalities, those to be automated as part of the regression testing. So those, that is what the meaning of it is. So yeah guys, these are all the questions. So I was able to answer, but the problem is it was in my first beginning interviews rounds. So maybe I was not able to articulate properly that time, so maybe because of that reason. And also I was not able to code for the calendar, maybe because of those reasons I was not selected for the next round. So yeah, these are the questions. So if you guys have any questions or any concerns, please do let me know in the comments down below, so I would be very happy to help you guys. And also if you like my content, please hit the like button, share and subscribe to my channel guys. So thank you so very much.